Friends, in life, there always come such moments when a person has to decide whether to choose the path of truth or the path of lies. It is these very moments that reveal a person's true reality before the world. Maybe that is why it is said, the real person is the one who is recognized by his character at the time of trial. Today's story is also about such a test. But it was not only a test for the farmers, it was a test of faith, intention, and honesty. Once upon a time, there lived a great king. He loved his people dearly. He was famous for justice. But in his heart, one question often arose. Is there anyone in my kingdom who, no matter the circumstances, would never lean on lies and would remain firm upon truth? To find the answer to this question, one day the king made an announcement. Tomorrow, all the farmers must come to my palace. I have a special test for them. As soon as this announcement was heard, entire villages were shaken with excitement. Farmers began thinking, perhaps the king wants to give us a reward, or maybe he is about to give a big opportunity. The next morning, hundreds of farmers gathered in the palace. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the king. The king sat upon his throne. In his hand was a small pouch. He smiled and said, "My dear farmers, today I give each of you one seed. Take this seed home, plant it in the soil, water it, and work hard. 1 year later, when spring comes, you must bring back your pots and plants to me. The one whose plant is the most beautiful and strong will receive my reward." Hearing this, the eyes of all the farmers began to shine. Everyone took their seed and happily returned to their homes. Among these farmers was a poor man named Henry. His clothes were old, his house was small and broken, but he was a man with a pure heart and very strong intentions. He brought the seed home. With great enthusiasm, he prepared the soil, sowed the seed, watered it, added fertilizer. But as the days passed, not even a tiny sprout came out of the seed. Still, Henry did not lose hope. Every day he watered it, prayed, and worked hard. Weeks turned into months, and the pot remained empty. One day Henry's wife said, "This seed is spoiled. Other farmers will bring lush green plants, and you will have nothing but this empty pot. Why not get another seed from someone else?" Henry took a deep breath and replied, "Wife, the seed that the king gave me, my test is only with that one. If it does not grow, then that itself is my trial. I do not want to win by taking the support of lies." Friends, time passed and finally that day arrived. Once again, the palace was decorated like a festival. Farmers came from far and wide, bringing colorful flowers, fragrant plants, and pots full of greenery. The entire royal court looked like a beautiful garden. Henry also came, but in his hands was only an empty pot. As soon as people saw him, they began to laugh. "This is the farmer who couldn't grow even a single plant in an entire year. How useless he is!" Some out of pity said, "At least he should have planted another seed. He came only to disgrace himself." Henry quietly stood in a corner. His heart was heavy with sadness, but his conscience was at peace. The king descended from his throne and began to examine each pot. The flowers were indeed beautiful. The plants were strong. Everything looked perfect. But there was no happiness on the king's face. Then he came to Henry. He saw the empty pot and suddenly smiled. The king raised his voice and said, "Today's winner is this farmer, Henry." The entire court fell silent. Everyone began looking at one another. How is this possible? How can an empty pot be declared the winner? The king raised his hand to quieten them all and said, "The seeds I gave you were all boiled. They could never grow into plants. But all of you deceived me. You brought seeds from elsewhere and relied on lies. Only Henry is the one farmer who passed my test. By bringing an empty pot, he proved that he stands firmly upon truth and honesty." Friends, that day, the entire court was astonished, but at the same time, it learned a deep lesson. Truth may cause loss for a short while, but in the end, honor and victory always belong to the truth. Lies may bring temporary gain, but they always steal away respect and trust. An honest man may have little wealth, but he surely owns a treasure that no riches in the world can ever buy: honesty. Henry's empty pot was not truly empty. It was filled with faith, courage, and character. That is why the king gave him superiority over all. In all of our lives, such moments will come, when we can choose the easy path of lies or the difficult path of truth. Those very moments become our real identity. If we take the support of lies, maybe we will gain something temporarily. But if we hold on to truth, the world will surely honor us sooner or later. Remember this: truth is the lamp that lights up hearts, and lies are the darkness that may appear like light, but in the end, take everything away. So always say Alhamdulillah in every situation and never let go of truth. Because truth is that wealth which will raise you to the highest place. That was today's story. Now tell me, what did you learn from this story? Write your answer in the comments. I'll be waiting to read your thoughts. And yes, don't forget to like, subscribe and share Tales by Manis. Thank you for being a part of this journey.